It's 10 a.m. on WKYT Midmorning. How students and staff are honoring a Central Kentucky teacher who was killed in a crash.
A Kentucky family loses almost everything in a devastating fire just days before Thanksgiving.
And will a Kentucky native crack the top 10? Hear Jordan Smith's latest performance on The Voice.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
Good morning to you here on this Tuesday, a couple of days before Thanksgiving, November 24th. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. Lots of sunshine out there.
Right.
You know, it's really a pretty day.
It is pretty. It's not working to warm things up very quickly. But
you notice I didn't say that. I just said lots of sunshine, a pretty day.
Not as cold as it was when we came in this morning, though. Let's check in with Micah right now. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, we're trying to heat things up. It's just taking a little bit of time, but the sunny skies outside will help us out. Once we travel off into the afternoon hours, we go from 30s and 40s this morning as you step out the door to the 50s later on this afternoon. So we are trying to push things up. But let me just say, 51 degrees is our average high for this time of year. So we'll just be above that later on today. Now, that's not the focus of the forecast. Next couple of days aren't really there. It's more about Thanksgiving, obviously, with it being dry. It's a beautiful day on Thanksgiving, but not so much afterwards. It really gets that rain taking a run at our Black Friday shoppers. I'll show you what you can expect and when you can expect that rain coming up.
All right, thank you. WKYT Midmorning beginning with a breaking news alert. Police are at the scene of a deadly crash in Laurel County. We've learned from the coroner's office that the victim is a student. The crash happened on the Hal Rogers Parkway in London.
Dispatchers say traffic is shut down in both directions between US 25 and Highway 30. The crash scene is really close to North Laurel High School, but we don't know the age of the victim. We have a crew arriving on the scene shortly, and we'll have the very latest on this breaking news alert on WKYT News at noon.
Well, today a Montgomery County school is planning to honor a teacher who was killed in a crash.
Investigators say Sheila Baker pulled out in front of a truck on Main Street in Jeffersonville. She died at the scene. Baker taught science at Mapleton Elementary. The school is honoring Baker by asking students and teachers to wear purple today in a show of unity. Baker's visitation is today starting at 2 o'clock. Her funeral is tomorrow at 1 o'clock at Mapleton Elementary. Emotions were high inside an Allen County courtroom as a man accused of killing a 7-year-old girl faced a judge. Timothy Madden pleaded not guilty to murder, kidnapping, rape, and sodomy in the death of Gabby Doolin. The little girl's mother sobbed as the judge read the charges. The judge even seemed overwhelmed by the brutality of the crime. Madden is due back in court next week.
2 days after a Lexington teenager was murdered, it's still unclear this morning if police have any leads in the case. Neighbors found 18-year-old Jamal Gossett dead in his SUV on Kent Drive Sunday night. That's in the Joyland neighborhood. The coroner says Gossett had been shot in the head. Gossett graduated from Bryan Station High School in May. He worked at Penn Station on North Broadway, and while in school, he was a member of the Educational Enrichment Program known as Black Males Working. 2 men now admit to being involved in a Lexington murder from last year. Chauncey Ingram and Savon Thompson were charged in the death of 19-year-old Jeffrey Adams back in October. The Herald-Leader reports Ingram pleaded guilty to murder, robbery, and evidence tampering, and Thompson pleaded guilty to facilitation, robbery, and evidence tampering as well. Both men will be sentenced in January.
A man faces 4 murder charges in the deaths of his own relatives. State police say 21-year-old Picasso Ariano shot 2 of his relatives last week in Callaway County. Detectives say he then set fire to their home, killing the couple's 2 children. Ariano is charged with murder, burglary, arson, and evidence tampering. A Kentucky family has lost everything in a fire just days before Thanksgiving. Firefighters say by the time they arrived at the home on Goshen Road near Stanford, flames had already torn through the house. In addition to losing all of their belongings, the family also lost some pets in that fire.
Lexington police are looking for the man who broke into a bakery overnight by climbing through a vent on the store's roof. Police say the crook used some items around the store, some debris that was there, to build a makeshift ladder to get on top of the building. And once inside, he stole cash, but police say the crime was caught on surveillance video. More than 40 million people will be hitting the road this week for Thanksgiving, but some drivers will run into a little more traffic than others. A new report by the American Highway Users Alliance identifies the worst traffic bottlenecks in America. The worst choke point is in Chicago, and then L.A. owns the next 6 spots in the top 10. But when it comes to semis causing traffic backups, 2 cities in our region made the top 10. I-65 at I-64 in Louisville ranks number 4, and I-71 at I-75 in Cincinnati ranks number 7. Familiar with those?
Oh, yes.
Well, a rebel group in Syria says one Russian pilot who ejected from a plane is dead, and the fate of the other is not known.
That plane was shot down by Turkey, which insists the jet violated its airspace and ignored repeated warnings. Russia denies the plane strayed into Turkey's airspace. Now, meanwhile, NATO will hold an emergency meeting following that shoot-down along the Syrian border. Turkey is a NATO member and requested the meeting. The downing of that Russian jet comes as President Obama is meeting with French President Francois Hollande at the White House today.
And as Don Champion reports, the 2 leaders are discussing how to combat ISIS, the terror group that has claimed responsibility for the Paris terror attacks that left 130 people dead.
French President Francois Hollande will sit down with President Obama at the White House this morning in an effort of strengthening the coalition against ISIS. A French diplomatic official tells CBS News Hollande will press for urgent action to combat what he views as an imminent threat from the terror group.
They can and should take a lot of solace in knowing that the most powerful country in the world has their back and is standing with them in this difficult time.
Concerns about terror groups like ISIS have U.S. officials stepping up security at airports. Monday, the State Department issued a worldwide travel alert warning Americans to exercise caution during the holiday season.
I'm definitely going to be vigilant. Our family is like, no going to big venues or anything like that. Be careful, be wary, of course.
Overseas, Brussels remains on lockdown. Authorities there are still searching for Salah Abdeslam, a key suspect who got away after the November 13th attacks. This morning in Paris, investigators are analyzing an explosive vest found by a street cleaner Monday. Police say the vest contained bolts, shrapnel, and the same type of explosives used in the attacks. Don Champion, CBS News.
The NFL is investigating how a quarterback with the St. Louis Rams was allowed to continue playing Sunday after a blow to the head. Casey Keenum was diagnosed with a concussion following the game against the Baltimore Ravens. Keenum's helmet hit the ground and he immediately appeared disoriented, but was left in the game. League officials are looking into why he was not taken off the field for evaluation. Well, the undefeated Kentucky Wildcats are back in action tonight at Rupp Arena.
On the basketball court, the #1 ranked Cats are preparing to host the Terriers of Boston University. The Cats moved up to the top spot in the AP poll after North Carolina lost to Northern Iowa on Saturday. It's the 5th time in 7 seasons that John Calipari's Wildcats have been ranked #1 at some point during the season. Now, tip-off for tonight's game, it's a late one. It's 9 o'clock on the SEC Network. Again, Kentucky versus Boston tonight.
The Terriers.
The Terriers.
That's right.
Well, the top 11 took the stage on The Voice.
And once again, Kentucky and Jordan Smith delivered a big performance.
True to who you are.
The Harlan native sang Jessie J's power ballad, Who You Are. He was in tears by the time he finished his performance. Smith's mom was also in the audience with him last night. Voice judge Farrell noted that Smith's attention to detail when he sings is remarkable and amazing to watch. We'll find out tonight if Smith will advance on to the top 10.
He was not the only one who was in tears. It was a wonderful performance.
Powerful
again.
Voice. Absolutely.
Well, keep it right here this mid-morning. Living with a roommate can be a challenge, especially if one of them's a prankster.
But this prank did not go as planned. We'll explain. That's coming up after weather.
Yeah, bright blue skies once again for today, and that goes for tomorrow and even your Thanksgiving holiday. But what about after that for all that shopping? I have all that coming up next.